Delighted to appear before you to speak about the proposed EU traffic light model for international travel, airport testing and aviation supports, and to answer any questions that you may have. My colleague, Minister Ryan, has highlighted the vital role that our aviation industry has played and will continue to play throughout this pandemic and beyond. And I wish to thank everyone involved for their hard work. The Government is committed to assisting the aviation sector in any way it can to ensure it can return to normal operations as soon as possible and maintain our global connectivity. I would like to mention at the outset the range of government supports that have been made available to the aviation industry. These include the horizontal government supports available to all citizens and businesses, including grants, low-cost loans, waiver of commercial rates and deferred tax liabilities. Many employed in the sector have been able to avail of the COVID-19 wage subsidy schemes and, where necessary, the COVID-19 unemployment payment. Larger aviation companies may qualify for liquidity support under the ISAF Pandemic Stabilisation and Recovery Fund. As you know, legislation has been introduced to allow for a state guarantee for refund credit notes to consumers of Irish licensed travel agents and tour operators for cancelled bookings, ensuring the monetary value is secured until such time as it is used in the future. These supports notwithstanding, it is acknowledged that our airlines and our aviation stakeholders have had to make difficult decisions in order to best ensure their long-term commercial viability. I and officials from the Department continue to engage with industry representatives concerning their needs and supports over the weeks and months of this pandemic. Turning to the proposed European approach for COVID-19 restrictions and international travel, this proposal has a number of elements. It involves harmonised data and country coding under a traffic light model based on available EPI-data, which will be mapped by the European Centre of Disease Control, ECDC. This is an aspect of the proposal on which Member States can easily agree. However, other aspects of the proposal are more challenging, particularly discussions around testing and quarantine restrictions, which fall to the public health authority's competence and responsibility in each Member State. The aviation industry has stated that in order for the proposed traffic light model to be viable, testing has to be part of the solution as an alternative to 14-day isolation, and measures should only be contemplated for higher risk locations. It has been made clear by industry that the achievement of this proposed model will determine future decisions made by industry. The European proposal is the subject of intense discussion, but it is expected to progress to a decision at the General Affairs Council on the 13th of October. In the meantime, the Member States are endeavouring to find a compromise in the challenging areas of testing and restriction regimes. With regard to airport testing, you will be aware that a number of European countries are currently offering the option of testing of arriving passengers either at pre-departure or on arrival, usually PCR testing as an alternative to restrictions. The DAA recently presented me its research into options for COVID-19 testing at its facilities at Dublin and Cork. Such a proposed testing service could also potentially be extended to other locations. The preference for airport testing involves testing that is quick, cheap, available and meets the public health threshold for accuracy, specificity and sensitivity. The aviation industry is proposing antigen as a preferred option for travel testing. This is understandable given the relatively cheaper price and quicker turnaround time. However, antigen-based testing is not considered by the World Health Organization to be suitable for an international travel testing context. The DAA has carried out research into other types of testing. However, their application is not yet fully validated. It is clear from my discussions with industry that consideration around testing and the traffic light system will determine the future direction of international travel. My department will continue to lend support to the aviation sector through this difficult period by working steadfastly with stakeholders on these important issues. And I'm happy to answer any further questions. Thank you, Chairman.